What's up, guys? It's the Bay Bro, back again for another history lesson. And I know I said in my last video I would talk about Takara's rival Tomy, but I felt like an overall history of Beyblade would give a good idea of the brand. So, sorry? But anyways, hit like, hit subscribe. These history videos take so long to make. And yeah, with that, let's begin. Our story begins in Japan. In 1924, Kentaro Tomiyama founded a company called Tomiyama, who later changed their company name to Tommy as a shortened name from the original name. Their business rival Takara was founded in 1955. A Beigoma is a heavy metal spinning top that you would wrap around a string and throw onto a surface like matting or on top of a barrel. The goal was to outspin your opponent or knock him out. The Beigoma tops were made of lead and eventually made out of cast iron. Before we continue further, what does Beyblade even mean? Well, the word Bay is from Beigoma, and blade referring to the points of contact in battle. And with that, let's continue. July 23rd, 1999, Next Generation Beigoma Battle Beyblade was released. This is a Game Boy Color game that predates the anime and manga and had prototype concepts that would later be used in the series. 1999, the anime would release called Bakuten Shoot Beyblade, or localized as Beyblade, as well as promoting the stories on a Japanese comic called Koro Koro. And the manga for the series would be done by Takao Aoki, and the story follows Takao Kiyomi. I see what you did there. Or later localized as Tyson Granger. And the tournaments would be hosted by the BBA, or Beyblade Battle Association, as well as Hasbro's bringing the toys to the West as a one-to-one product, being close to the Japanese product. This first generation of Beyblade would be referred to as the Plastics generation, but people in Japan call it Bakuten because it was the prefix of every season. The parts of the Beyblade for this generation are very cool, to say the least. So you have your bit chip that will show the spirit or mythology. There was a bit chip cover in the early ones, which protected the bit chip. The attack ring is what makes the most contact with your opponent. Your weight disc gives you your Beyblade weight and varies in shape. And the spin gear will determine if your bay is left or right spinning. And the blade base is the bottom of the Beyblade that'll determine your movement pattern. Fast forward to 2006, Takara and Tomy merged to become Takara Tomy, in an effort to become top of the toy market. Fast forward to 2009, you had Metal Fight Beyblade, or Beyblade Metal Fusion, later localized. Now here's where it gets very interesting. The parts of a Metal Fight Beyblade is the facebull, which depicts the animal or spirit, or in this case, constellations. Your clear wheel is a plastic piece that goes on top of your metal wheel, and the metal wheel is what makes the most contact. And the spin track will determine your height, and your performance tip is responsible for your movement pattern. 2015, a new generation is here, which is Beyblade Burst. The difference between this and previous generations is now Beyblades can explode. To win in Burst, you either win by a knockout, which is 1 point. You do this by hitting the bay into the pocket. A spin finish was also 1 point, where you spin the longest, and a burst finish where the bays hit and explode, giving you 2 points. The parts of a burst bay are the layer, which makes the most contact, your forge disc, which gives it metal weighting, and the driver, which determines your movement pattern and what type of bay you are. 2024, Beyblade X is the hot new thing that takes all aspects of previous generations and refines them even more. The parts of an X-Bay is the blade that makes contact with other blades, this time being made of metal. The ratchet determines the height and burst resistance, and the bit also determines burst resistance as well as your movement pattern. Thank you so much for watching. This took way too long to record, and I'm sorry again I didn't make a Tomy history video, but I hope this was a good history lesson on Beyblade as a whole. Like, subscribe, this is the Bay Bros, and I'll see you next time.